I thought I knew Harper. 2 years together, sharing an apartment in Portland, Oregon, building what I believed was a future. Her favorite coffee mug still sat on our counter, the one I bought for her last birthday. She had this way of going quiet when something upset her, but I figured that was just her process. Last week felt different, though. After a small disagreement about dinner plans, she stopped talking completely. I thought she needed space. Then my phone buzzed with a message that changed everything. "You are blocked. Figure out why." That sinking feeling hit me hard, the kind that tells you something is very wrong. Before I tell you how this silent treatment turned into the biggest mistake of her life, I want to know where you are watching from. Are you in a place where someone has played mind games with you? Drop your location in the comments below. Hit that like button if you have ever been given the silent treatment and had to figure out what you did wrong. And subscribe, because what I did next, she never saw it coming. Let me take you back to where this all started. 6 months before everything fell apart, I met Harper at a bookstore in downtown Portland. We both reached for the same copy of The Road by Cormac McCarthy at the exact same moment. Her laugh was warm, confident. She worked in marketing at a tech startup downtown, had this energy that pulled people in. Our relationship felt easy, at first natural. After a year together, moving in seemed like the obvious next step. The apartment was a third-floor walk-up, with exposed brick walls and large windows facing the street. Rent ran $1,200 a month split between us. I worked as a freelance graphic designer, mostly from home, while she commuted downtown every morning, leaving at 7:30 sharp. 3 months after we moved in together, I saw the first real sign. I forgot to pick up her dry cleaning. She had an important presentation that week, and I just spaced on it. The moment she realized, something shifted in her eyes. She went completely silent. For 2 full days, she would not look at me, would not respond to any questions. I apologized, repeatedly, felt terrible, bought her new outfits to make up for it. Then suddenly, on the third day, she acted like nothing had happened. Smiled at me over breakfast, kissed my cheek, normal as anything. I felt relieved. Everyone has their quirks, right? I told myself she just needed time to process her frustration. I did not question it. 2 months later, I made plans with my college friend Derek. Just dinner and a basketball game on a Wednesday night. I did not ask Harper first, just assumed it would be fine. She found out from a text notification on the kitchen counter while I was in the shower. When I came out, the apartment felt cold. She was sitting on the couch, arms crossed, staring at the wall. I asked what was wrong. Silence. Complete, icy silence. This time, it lasted 4 days. She slept on the couch, made breakfast only for herself, left her dishes in the sink for me to clean. I apologized over and over, canceled my plans with Derek. On the 5th day, she smiled and said, "I just needed you to understand priorities, babe." I felt uneasy, but convinced myself she had a point. Maybe I should have checked with her first. Maybe I was being inconsiderate. 1 month after that, my mother called during Harper's favorite television show. I stepped into the bedroom to take the call. My dad had been having some health issues, and Mom needed to talk through some concerns. The conversation lasted about 20 minutes. When I came back to the living room, Harper had turned off the television. She looked at me with this expression I was starting to recognize, then stood up and walked to the bedroom without a word. 3 days of silence followed. This time, she also removed all our photos together from Instagram. I panicked, genuinely thought she was leaving me. I bought expensive roses, $45 worth, along with her favorite chocolates. I apologized for taking the call, promised to be more present. She accepted everything with a calm smile and said, "Actions have consequences, Atticus." I started to feel like I was walking on eggshells constantly. Every decision got second-guessed in my head before I made it. Would this upset her? Would that trigger another episode of silence? I was always checking my phone, anxious about her mood. My friends started noticing. Derek mentioned I seemed distant. Marcus asked if everything was okay at home. I brushed them off, said work was stressful, said everything was fine. But it was not fine. I just could not see it clearly yet. Then came the Friday that changed everything. We both had exhausting weeks. I suggested ordering Thai food, our usual Friday tradition. Harper said she wanted to cook together, had already bought groceries. I was so tired, could barely think straight. I said, "I am really tired, babe. Can we cook tomorrow instead?" Her face went cold instantly. She put the groceries away in complete silence, every movement deliberate and controlled. Then she walked to the bedroom and closed the door. I knocked, tried to talk through it. "Harper, please. It is just dinner. We can cook if you want." Nothing. Not a sound. An hour later, she emerged, grabbed her purse, and left the apartment without saying a single word. She did not come home that night. I found out later she stayed at her friend Jessica's place. Saturday afternoon she returned. I heard her key in the lock and felt this rush of relief. Finally, we could work this out. But she walked straight past me like I was invisible, went to the bedroom and packed a small bag. I tried everything. "Harper, please. We can talk about this. I am sorry. What do you need from me?" She looked at me with eyes colder than I had ever seen. "You need to learn," she said. Then she left again. Sunday morning, I woke up to a notification on my phone. "Harper has blocked your number." I stared at the screen in disbelief, then checked Instagram. Blocked. Facebook. Blocked. WhatsApp blocked. Every single platform she had cut me off completely. But her stuff was everywhere. Her clothes filled half the closet. Her toiletries covered the bathroom counter. Her books lined the shelves. Her art supplies took up the entire spare room. Her laptop sat on the desk. That coffee mug still on the counter mocking me. I sat on the couch, staring at that mug, and something clicked in my brain. I thought about the pattern. Every single time I did something she did not like, no matter how small, she punished me with silence. This time, she had escalated to complete blocking. She was teaching me a lesson, expecting me to beg, to break down, to come crawling back with apologies. A quiet voice in my head asked a question I had never considered before. What if I do not play this game anymore? The confusion I felt started transforming into something else. Clarity. The hurt mixed with a resolve I did not know I had in me. Monday morning, I woke up after barely sleeping. Her things seemed to multiply in the early light, filling every corner of my apartment. I checked my phone out of habit. Still blocked on everything. I even tried calling her office, knew her direct line by heart. An automated message played, "The number you are trying to reach is not accepting calls from your number." She had blocked me at work too. The humiliation of that realization burned. But underneath it, anger was building, steady and purposeful. I looked around the apartment again. Her purple yoga mat rolled up in the corner. Her plant collection lined up by the window, 7 different succulents she had named after fictional characters. Her vintage record player and vinyl collection took up an entire shelf. Her designer clothes, the ones she loved shopping for, filled more than half the closet space. Then it hit me. This was my apartment. I signed the lease 8 months before we even met. She moved into my space, my home. And now she was treating me like a guest who had misbehaved, someone who needed to earn his way back into her good graces. Another thought followed, clear as glass. She wants to teach me a lesson. Fine. I will learn. I will learn that I do not need this manipulation in my life. I grabbed my laptop and Googled storage units near me in Portland. Found a place called Secure Space Storage 3 miles away on Foster Avenue. Called them immediately. A friendly woman answered and got me set up with a 10 by 10 unit for $95 per month. I drove there right away, signed the paperwork, got my access code, 4789. On the way back, I stopped at U-Haul and bought 20 large moving boxes, packing tape, and heavy-duty markers. The total cost hit around $230. I did not care about the money. For the first time in months, I felt clear-headed and purposeful. That evening, I started with the bedroom. Pulled her clothes from the closet methodically, one piece at a time. I folded each item carefully, because I am not cruel, just done. 6 boxes filled with her dresses, jeans, sweaters, and workout gear. Her jewelry box came off the dresser, next the expensive one her grandmother gave her. Then, I moved to the bathroom. Her makeup and skincare products were everywhere, evidence of her extensive routine. 3 boxes, just for bathroom items. Her expensive hairdryer, straightener, curling iron, all of it packed. While packing, I found love notes she had written me during our first few months together, tucked in my dresser drawer. I pulled one out and read it. "You make me feel safe, Atticus. Thank you for being patient with me." A sharp pain hit my chest, but anger followed right behind it. Patient. I had been walking on eggshells for months, sacrificing my peace for hers, and she called it patience. I put the notes in a box and kept packing. I ordered pizza for dinner, ate alone at the kitchen table. Her chair sat empty across from me like a ghost. My phone stayed silent. Part of me expected her to call to apologize, to come back. But the other part, the part that was growing stronger by the hour, knew the truth. She was waiting for me to break first. Not this time. I went to bed that night in an apartment that already felt less like hers. Tuesday, I called in sick to work. Could not focus on design projects anyway. I packed her book collection, 3 boxes worth of novels, self-help books, and poetry. Found the book I bought her for our first anniversary with my inscription inside. "To Harper, may we write our own story together. Love, A." The hollow feeling came back, but I pushed through it. Her art supplies came next. Watercolors, brushes, half-finished canvases. One painting stopped me cold. A portrait of me sleeping that she made last spring. I loved that painting when she showed it to me, thought it proved she cared deeply. Now it felt like evidence of something darker, like she was always watching, always analyzing, always looking for mistakes to punish. I packed it anyway. Tuesday evening, I loaded my car with the first batch of boxes. Rain fell steady, typical November weather in Portland. I drove to the storage facility, punched in my code at the gate 4789. The unit door rolled up to reveal an empty concrete space, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. I started stacking boxes along the back wall, organized and methodical. Labeled each one in black marker, clothes 1 through 6, books 1 through 3, art supplies. The physical work felt good, productive. A strange mix of sadness and liberation washed over me with each box I stacked. Wednesday brought more packing. Living room items, her decorative throw pillows, scented candles, ceramic vases she picked up at weekend markets. Kitchen stuff, her special copper pans, her stand mixer, her French press, that birthday coffee mug. I paused, holding the mug, remembered her smile when she unwrapped it. Then, I remembered 3 weeks later, when she gave me the silent treatment for 2 days, because I forgot to run the dishwasher. I put the mug in a box without hesitation. Wednesday afternoon, my phone rang. Jessica Harper's best friend. Not blocked, apparently. Atticus Harper asked me to check on her plant situation. I took a breath. "Tell Harper she can pick up her plants at Secure Space Storage on Foster Avenue, Unit 47. Code is 4789. Silence on the other end. Then, "Wait, what, are you serious right now?" "Completely serious. And Jessica, tell her the rest of her stuff will be there by Friday." I hung up before she could respond. Felt powerful, in control. No more games. Thursday, I tackled the remaining items. Her desk area notebooks, planners, motivational posters. I found her journal but did not read it. Not my business anymore. Her yoga equipment, sound system, framed photos of us around the apartment. I took the photos out, put her copies in a box, kept the frames since I bought them originally. My friend Marcus stopped by to help with the heavy furniture. He looked around at the boxes, then at me. "Man, are you sure about this?" I have never been more sure of anything in my life. Marcus helped me load her dresser nightstand and her favorite reading chair from the living room. We rented a U-Haul van for $120 and made multiple trips to the storage unit. Each trip felt like shedding weight I did not know I was carrying. Thursday night, I stood in the apartment looking at the transformation. It looked different, spacious, quiet. My furniture, my books, my life visible again. I realized I had been living in a space half controlled by someone else's unpredictable moods, always bracing for the next storm. Exhaustion hit me, but it was clean. Exhaustion like finally removing an infected splinter. Friday morning, I did a final walkthrough. Found one hair tie on the bathroom counter, one bobby pin under the bed. Put them in a small envelope, added them to the last box. Thorough to the end. I drove the final load to the storage unit and stood in the doorway, looking at her entire life stacked in boxes and furniture. All of it here. My apartment clear. I took a photo of the unit number for my records, locked it up, and drove home. I called my landlord and explained the situation, asked about changing the locks. He was understanding, gave me approval. By Friday evening, I had new keys in my pocket. Final. 6 o'clock. Friday evening, I was making dinner. Simple pasta, just enough for one person. My phone buzzed on the counter. Unknown number. The text read, "Hey." I knew immediately it was Harper. She had either unblocked me or was texting from a different number. I did not respond. Just kept cooking, stirring the pasta, watching it boil. 6:15. Another text. Atticus. I plated my food, sat down at the table, ate slowly. Let the phone buzz on the counter. The vibrations continued, insistent. 6:30. Third text. Can we talk? I finished eating, washed my dishes, dried them carefully, put them away. The calm I felt was almost surreal. No anxiety, no desperate need to respond immediately. Complete role reversal from every other time she had wielded her silence against me. 6:45. Fourth text. I have had time to think. I almost laughed out loud. She had time to think. The irony was almost too much. I poured myself 2 fingers of Maker's Mark, my favorite whiskey, and sat on my couch. My couch, in my apartment, in my peace. 7 o'clock sharp. Fifth text. I miss you. I stared at those 3 words on the screen. Thought about all the times I said that exact phrase during her silent treatments. All the times I begged her to just talk to me, to tell me what I did wrong, to give me a chance to fix it. How she wielded her silence like a weapon, knowing exactly how much power it gave her. How I scrambled to fix problems I did not even understand. 7:15. The 6th text came through. Do you miss me? There it was. The question she expected would break me. She wanted to hear, "Yes, baby, I miss you so much. Please come back. I am sorry, I will do better. I will be whatever you need me to be." She expected me broken, desperate, ready to accept any terms, just to end the silence. Instead, I opened my phone and typed carefully, "Secure Space Storage, 3847, Foster Avenue, Unit 47. Code 4789. Everything is there. First month paid. After that, it is on you." I hit send. Then typed another message. "Do not contact me again." Send. Then I blocked her number. Blocked her on every single platform I could think of. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Venmo, everything. Complete reversal. She was now the one shut out, the one left, wondering, the one with no answers. 30 minutes later, pounding erupted on my apartment door. Harper's voice, loud and frantic. "Atticus, open this door right now." I sat on the couch, whiskey in hand, and did not move. "I know you are in there. Your car is outside. This is insane." My neighbors could probably hear everything. I did not care. "We need to talk. You cannot just throw away 2 years like this." Actually, I could. I just did. The pounding continued for another 10 minutes before finally stopping. I heard her footsteps retreating down the stairs, angry and heavy. Over the next few hours, calls came from different numbers. I did not answer any of them. Texts from her friends' phones. "This is crazy, Atticus. Just talk to her." I deleted them without reading past the first line. An email appeared in my inbox from her work account, deleted without opening. She even tried to contact my mother. I found out later when my mom called me irritated. Some girl named Harper tried to friend me on Facebook, said she desperately needed to talk to me about you. I told her, you are a grown man, and if you are done, you are done. That validation from my mother felt better than I expected. Saturday afternoon, Jessica called again from her own number. Atticus, she is really upset. Like really broken up about this. She is upset. I kept my voice level. Jessica, do you know how many times I have been upset over the past year? How many times she iced me out for days over absolutely nothing? Silence on the other end. Did she tell you about those times? Or just her version of events now? She said you two had a fight about dinner plans. We had a disagreement. A normal, everyday disagreement about whether to cook or order food. She blocked me on everything and disappeared to teach me a lesson. I decided to learn a different lesson than the one she intended. She did not expect you to actually move on. She thought I would crumble. She thought I would beg and plead and promise to be better. I did not. That is what is really upsetting her. Not losing me. Losing control over me. I hung up before Jessica could respond. My friends rallied around me that weekend. Derek came over with a 6-pack of beer Saturday night. Dude, I have been worried about you for months. You seem so tense all the time, so on edge. Marcus joined us, nodded in agreement. Yeah, man, you have not been yourself. Every time we made plans, you would get this anxious look and start checking your phone constantly. My friend Tyler showed up too. We all noticed, but nobody wanted to say anything because we thought you were happy with her. The realization hit me hard. They had all seen me shrinking, becoming smaller, more anxious. They noticed me disappearing into someone else's emotional manipulation. And now, they were relieved to see me breaking free. Harper showed up at the storage unit Saturday, according to Jessica, who told me later. She saw all her belongings stacked neatly in boxes and furniture, everything labeled and organized. Reportedly, she broke down crying right there in the unit. I felt a brief flicker of guilt when I heard that then it passed. I had spent months, nearly a year, trying desperately to make her happy, walking on eggshells to avoid triggering her silent wrath. She had spent that same time training me to fear her moods, to second-guess myself, to shrink myself down to avoid her punishment. This was the consequence she earned. The following week, my apartment felt genuinely bigger. I rearranged the furniture. My way hung my own artwork on the walls, instead of the pieces she had dictated. Bought new bedding in navy blue because I wanted to, not because it matched some aesthetic she approved. Got rid of the last lingering smell of her shampoo in the bathroom. The space was mine again, fully and completely. My work improved dramatically. I landed a new client, a design project for a local brewery that turned into my biggest contract in 6 months. I realized how distracted I had been before, too anxious about when Harper would be upset, next too exhausted from constantly walking on eggshells. Now I felt focused, creative, energized in ways I had forgotten were possible. My social life returned to normal. Basketball with Derek on Wednesday nights, without having to ask permission or feel guilty. Poker games with my college friends on Fridays, without having to cancel last minute because of Harper's mood. I called my parents, more often had actual conversations that did not end abruptly because Harper was irritated I was on the phone. I even took a spontaneous weekend trip to Seattle to visit my sister. The freedom felt incredible. Harper made a few more attempts to reach me. She showed up at my gym one morning, so I switched to a different gym across town. A letter arrived at my apartment address with her handwriting on the envelope. I returned it, unopened. She tried to friend my sister on Facebook. My sister blocked her immediately. Eventually silence. Real silence, not the weaponized kind. She finally got the message. I had become completely unreachable. The ultimate reversal of her favorite tactic. One month after everything ended, I got a notification that the storage payment was due for Unit 47. I had paid the first month as promised. Now it was Harper's responsibility. I checked my bank account out of curiosity and saw she had paid it. That meant she had been to the unit, dealt with her belongings, faced the reality of what she lost. Good. Not my problem anymore. I was sleeping better than I had in over a year. No knot of anxiety in my stomach when I woke up. No dread about coming home to silent treatment. No second-guessing every single word before I spoke. Just peace, freedom, the ability to breathe fully again. The biggest realization came slowly, over weeks of reflection. I had thought love meant being patient with someone's flaws, working through difficulties, not giving up when things got hard. But I learned there is a massive difference between patience and tolerating manipulation. Harper did not have quirks or communication issues. She had a deliberate pattern of emotional abuse. The silent treatment is not a personality trait. It is a control mechanism. Blocking me everywhere was not her breaking point. It was her final test, the ultimate escalation to see if I would break completely. I passed that test by refusing to play the game anymore. 3 months after I packed up her life and put it in storage, I found myself in a completely different place mentally and emotionally. I started dating again. Nothing serious, just casual coffee dates and dinners. Met a woman named Sarah, an elementary school teacher with a genuine smile and straightforward communication style. We were taking things slow, getting to know each other without pressure or games. What struck me most about seeing Sarah was how different healthy communication felt. When we disagreed about something, and we did, occasionally we talked about it. Actually talked using words and sentences and honest expressions of how we felt. Imagine that. No silent treatments, no blocking, no punishment for having a different opinion. Just two adults having a conversation and working through minor conflicts like reasonable people. I was still cautious, still healing, carrying some wariness from what I went through with Harper. But I felt optimistic in a way I had not experienced in a long time. My freelance business was genuinely thriving. 3 major clients kept me busy with challenging creative projects. I was even considering hiring an assistant to help manage the workload. The clear headspace and creative energy that returned after Harper left made me realize just how much her emotional manipulation had been draining me professionally. My friendships were stronger than they had been in years. Derek, Marcus, Tyler, and the rest of my circle had all commented at various points, "You are back, man. The real you is back." We had regular game nights, went on hiking trips in the Columbia River Gorge, had honest conversations about life and relationships and goals. I was not isolated anymore, not constantly making excuses for why I could not hang out or why I had to leave early. The apartment was truly mine now. I even got a dog, a rescue mutt I named Cooper. He was good company, loyal, and affectionate without conditions or silent treatments. Just pure, uncomplicated companionship. Peace without punishment. But the deeper lesson, the one that settled into my bones over those 3 months, was about understanding what real love actually looks like. Real love does not weaponize silence. Healthy relationships do not involve teaching your partner lessons through emotional manipulation. You cannot fix someone who uses your love as leverage against you. I also learned crucial things about myself. I am stronger than I thought I was. I do not need to shrink myself, diminish my needs, or walk on eggshells to keep someone in my life. Walking away is not giving up. Sometimes walking away is the ultimate act of self-respect. The irony of the whole situation was almost poetic. Harper blocked me to teach me dependence, to make me desperate for her attention and approval. Instead, she taught me independence. She wanted me to miss her desperately, to feel incomplete without her. I did miss her. At first felt that hollow ache of loss. But then I realized I missed myself more. I missed the version of me that existed before I started constantly monitoring someone else's moods. Getting that version of myself back was worth infinitely more than keeping her. Sometimes people say the trash takes itself out. In this case, the trash tried to take itself out to teach me a lesson, and I helped it along to storage. Now, when I drive past that secure space storage facility on Foster Avenue, I do not feel sadness or regret. I feel gratitude. That unit holds her belongings, sure, all her carefully packed boxes and furniture. But more importantly, it symbolically holds the version of me who thought love meant tolerating manipulation, who believed patience meant accepting abuse, who confused emotional control with passionate connection. And I am never picking that version up again. The code to that storage unit, 4789, might as well be the code to a past life I have locked away permanently. I have the key to my own life, now, my own apartment, my own peace. Nobody gets to block me from my own happiness ever again. So here is what I want to know from all of you. Watching this, have you ever been in a relationship where someone used silence as a weapon? Have you ever felt like you were walking on eggshells, constantly trying to avoid setting off your partner? Drop a comment below and tell me your story. I read every single one, and your experiences matter. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button. It helps more people find these videos and realize they are not alone in what they have been through. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, because I share more stories about standing up for yourself, setting boundaries, and choosing self-respect over toxic relationships. And please share this video with anyone who might need to hear it. Sometimes people stay in manipulative relationships because they think it is normal, or because they have been convinced their partner's behavior is their fault. This video might be exactly what someone needs to see to realize they deserve better. Thank you for watching, for listening, for being part of this community. I hope my story helps you understand that you are worth more than silent treatments and mind games. You deserve someone who communicates, who respects you, who does not punish you for being human. Take care of yourselves out there. Choose peace, choose respect, and never be afraid to pack up someone's belongings when they try to teach you the wrong lesson.